Good day, Kelly, and welcome to your reading. You see how excited I am? Minus this. I was trying to get my sideburns down before I started this. Man, ain't it crazy how we're always shifting, trying to like fix ourselves as humans? Like right now, it's killing me because I ain't washed my hair in 2 weeks because I'm trying to like keep my hands out of it because I'm obsessed with growing it. But then I'm like, it gets oily and then it gets all. We are never satisfied, right? At one point, we were just happy to be like Ooga Booga and have a cave. Consciousness is a blessing and a curse because you become aware of how much more there is than what you have at the moment, as opposed to a time when I don't even think while we were out there like that we had gratitude either. Nah, we were just existing. So maybe gratitude is the other end of that scale, right? Instead of pulling stuff apart based upon all the possibilities of what we could have. Like, dang, I got more than what I started with because I started off butt naked crying. I think that's a good reset for the scale, right? Because there's no way with the evolution of humanity that we could ever go back to just being in pure existence, right? Was that pure creation state? Nah, that was us completely in our masculine energy because that was fight or flight all the time. Like imagine a dinosaur being on your ass. You definitely would not be worried about your sideburns or any of that. Nah, that was stressful. So anyways, let's get into your activation. From the moment I locked in, everything that I am yapping about has something to do with your situation in some way, shape, or form. I don't get to know what it is until afterwards. I'm always amazed. But it's happened enough for me to know. Just go with it. It's going to mean something to somebody. I could say something about cavemen and you could have been like, yo, I was just looking at this old commercial from such and such that had a caveman in it. The one that said even a caveman can do it. Which pretty much was letting you know that the possibilities are limitless. No matter where you start, you can evolve. That's something coming together here. So I always pick out a frequency to start any of my sessions. It's my psychic lube, if you will. And since I've gotten pretty like used to doing it now, I used to just only do one. 999 frequency, that's transcendence. That means you, your ego, all of that stuff gets wiped. It's like putting a bunch of 12th house energy through yourself, right? So you're just connected into the crown and you're just directly a conduit for whatever energy is coming in. But over time, I've learned to sync with people the same way that I can sync with like the frequencies. I was tapped into this becoming magnetic, feminine energy frequency, right? It's on a channel called Persephone's Mind. It's the 432H Z hertz. I ain't need to say HZ, huh? I'm feeling like I need to see where that resonates on the vibrational scale because there's something to this. But the rest of the frequency says creating a magnetic aura, self-love, confidence, and beauty. This is all girl things. But I need to know, and I ain't never looked this up before, on the frequency scale. It says heals damage. 432 hertz. So I guess I was saying 432, like I'm in kindergarten, right? Refers to a musical frequency where the note A vibrates. It is often considered to be a healing frequency. It promotes relaxation, inner balance, and stress reduction. Additionally, studies suggest that listening to music tuned to this can help you sleep better overall. Okay. So repairing while you're sort of in a half sleep mode, that lets me know that you need some subliminals or some stuff going on with your 12th house in general. Now keep in mind, I don't have your chart. That's our next thing. For today, we're getting into all of these in my sunshine sunflower bag. So I am first going to crack up in this Akashic records, right? These Akashic records. I've been taking a language class, so now my mind is like auto-editing everything like Grammarly every time I speak. I really hate that. So, what does Kelley need to know today? Why is she entering her Akashic record? your book of life, your story of everything you've done, everything you wanted to do, and everything you will do in the future. So you wanted to clear out the path. You wanted to move some debris. There have been some expectations or concerns or things that you have been focused on that were not a part of your original plan. But that goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, dog, about sometimes because we have the idea of like limitlessness, because we have a consciousness, we start thinking about all the possibilities and completely forget what we even wanted in the first place. But part of the beauty of this journey is coming back to the original storyline. Like, oh, that's why I wanted to do that. Got it. Went through all that other stuff just for me to appreciate what I really wanted and what I accomplished. Alice, right? So this is an activation reading, which is meant to like clear out any fog you're having and give you that moment. But look at this. Something I'm saying here, 5:55 on the clock, is going to jolt you back in the right direction. That's why you wanted to be here. Home, family, stability, security. That's all you want. And right now, you are in a dilapidated Victorian manor. Girl, I can't even say like, I wanted to say like the 1200s. Like the house, the dilapidated building you're in would be something that was from the 1200s. That was like, it wasn't even American what I was sensing. Like it would be a European house. So that's before the colonies and stuff got put together. That's how outdated the timeline that you are in is on at this moment. It's not even in America, but all that tower energy, all that stuff is about to get knocked out the way. Because what? Didn't I say that, crown girl? You want your crown back. You want the fog out. You want to be in alignment. So that's why we are tapping in today. We are beginning a new initiation. So let's see where your self wants to go, and then we're going to ride the wave and see how you're going to get there. I'm going to start with my 2 characteristic decks, right? So I can get an idea of the personified traits and roles that your light body came to mold into. Who did Kelley come to be? What does her soul want to move towards becoming at this point? Is that Tom Jones? My mind just started playing. She's a lady. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, there's no reason that should be in my mind. That's not even. But Marilyn is on this screen right now. That was a lady, right? And what roles did she want to fulfill this energy? And what roles does she want to play for this energy? You give off detective, psychologist, magician. This is not an easy role for you to change your consciousness into. This required a lot of early conditioning based around you having to figure out other people's psychological things. So if you grew up around crappy people, in order for you to not take it personally, your mind would have had to begin to adapt to that just so it won't fragment, right? Won't start separating from itself. But it would be like, my mom mentioned that she had a rough childhood. So the way that she treats me has nothing to do with me. It's because A, B, C, and D happened, right? This gave you the skill of the detective, which is coming through like you use it for discernment. Like when you walk in a room, you can look at somebody and do like a quick bio scan. Like, look at that person's nails. They're bit down. That person has anxiety, right? They're wearing dark colors. They do not like to be seen. Like you can build a quick character profile in your head, but you do that as discernment in person. But in your readings, you're able to do it once you tap into their field. So a lot of your gifts come through some Scorpio energy is what I'm getting here. But that's because you want to help other people that sabotage themselves. And in order to do that, you had to take on a trait of self-sabotage that you needed to undo, so that when you recognize that pattern like this in others, you can say, oh, I see the string on that self-sabotage, let me pull, and then you'll pull them out that jacket, right? Because the main things you came to embrace were this magical visionary energy. Was this magical visionary energy, right? You just wanted to mind your business and create. But you didn't want to like live your best life and not help other people live theirs too. It's like you wanted to be in a position to live your best life so well that you can help other people because you want to be in between. You want to assist. You want to pull more people over to the other side, which is significant because I am teaching a lesson on the vibrational divide and the Lucifer effect, which separates us, duality, when we are meant to be in union, in one, all of us moving in one wave, like the Smurfs. Or, oh, I just started hearing like, what is that? They're not the Smurfs. They the Smurf cousins. It's probably the same thing. They just keep thinking it as different things based on the collective unconscious, right? Like the Who's in Whoville is totally the same thing as the Smurfs or the Trolls. So you wanted to make sure that everybody got away from Gargamel is the bottom line. And you were going to do that through figuring out how to come from the worst version of yourself to the best version. A shapeshifter into your goddess self. So us having this conversation right now is you getting an understanding, Grammarly, of why you had to go through any addictions, any abuse, any heaviness. You just wanted to optimize yourself as I'm not even going to say reader because it's more than a reader. You were going to fill in the gaps of being a reader. Like the reader or that is the thing you said to me. You was like, I don't really like use the cards. I do it with my head, but I don't know how to have a business when I'm not like doing it with the cards. Like, what do I call that? Researcher, educator, right? You also want to make people laugh while you're doing it. Like to find the humor in the pain, but in an educational way, right? Sort of like what I'm doing in this session. Because that will be done under, you see that? Influencer. You want to be the person that lets other people know, baby, that might have been your life before, but that doesn't have to be it forever. Slavery is a choice. Now, slavery wasn't a choice. That original one was not. But now going forward, having your consciousness limited, as you have been having to deal with for the last couple years, right? Having other people tell you when you can pee, when you can eat, how you going to make your money, what you got to pay. This is what you have to do with your time for the rest of your life in order for you to be happy. No, that's a cage. And that is the cage that you came to slay. Okay? Part of what you're doing, you see this plotting? That plotting was how you can get yourself into a position after climbing from the bottom, like everybody else you're going to be working with, to show everybody else a formula that they can use to do so as well. So what do you need to heal to get back in this energy? Because it feels like life has beat you down as was pre-planned. It's important for you to know that. You needed to be beat down because you need to know what the people were dealing with. You needed to know what obstacles they were going to have to overcome as well. So also, so you can't judge anybody on their situation. Like, girl, that was rough. You went through that. I might not have went through exactly that, but I can understand. That wouldn't have happened if you grew up with like a silver spoon in your mouth. So what blockages does Kelley need to shed at this time in order to step into her goddess shapeshifter self, to alchemize? There is no better season to do some alchemizing or some energy shifting or activation than Scorpio season, because this is the time when all your pain is potent and just riding around your field, right? If you want to blow something out, this is the time. Girl, you have an attachment. That's a whole nother reading. Who living on you? Literally, it says parasite, right? But that in itself wouldn't have been enough. That could have been an evil twin. That could have been another version of you just hanging around in the background, right? Nah, there's an angry parasite, right? And I mentioned fragmentation up in this earlier. So you being more understanding and psychologically dealing with other people's stuff created a separate part of you where all the anger and the resentment and the pain went through because you didn't allow yourself to process that because you couldn't in that situation. So damn, I was saying, so you wouldn't fragment. You just started understanding, nah, baby. You are a 2 for the price of 1. I bet your relationships be wild, huh? So part of you is like, that's not even you. And this literally says, is this me? The life you have created is not the life that you wanted for yourself, which has become pretty evident throughout this reading. And now the energy that you are dealing with, regret, wondering where the time is gone, how much time you have left, are you ever going to get to do any of the stuff that you wanted to do? That's the feeling I'm feeling for you right now. Probably why you need to rest, because this frequency definitely makes you want to go to sleep and recalibrate. But resting is putting you in your creative energy, is putting in your least resistant form. So when you feel in some type of way, take a nap. You'll wake up refreshed and you'll be like, all right, I feel like I can make it just a little bit more, because it resets you. It puts you back in your ease, back in your flow. How can Kelley begin to repair this and transmute it for herself for morphin' time? Heart healing. And I'm going to read this one off. You have chosen, dun, 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 to step into a higher vibration that is in alignment with your soul path and higher knowing. You now have the awareness that you are limitless and ready for transformation. I love this shit. This is amazing. So maybe that attachment to you is little you that had to grow up too early. Like the one that just wanted to throw dirt and kick rocks, that magical child who was out there trying to make potions with stakes. She had to grow up for other people's sake because like she had to be her mom's mom or something like that. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know if that was kind of specific. I try not to get too specific. I try to hint so you can follow yourself down the hole and be like, oh, that was such and such. But I mean, if it was your mom, 17 on the clock, then you need to look into your moon and healing around your moon in order to fix your heart. So your inner child is looking to heal so you can move on by understanding the situation in a new light. Going within to heal requires self-love, that frequency, girl, and compassion. Gaining perspective through energy work or therapy can be very helpful in accessing tools to empower your inner child. Better boundaries in your communication. I'm going to bet if you took that chakra test that your throat would say weak or closed, and that has been happening since childhood because you could not express your thoughts or your words because you weren't in an environment where that was invited in. Creating boundaries requires self-love and discipline. That's 3 things. 3. Talking about self-love and discipline. And you know the best way I found to work on self-love? Look at yourself from outside yourself. Because internally you're going to put all the thoughts and projections of other people, all the things, the patterns that you've heard over time about yourself, other people's estimation of who you are. They don't know you, they ain't with you all the time. But if you observe yourself outside of yourself like you would somebody you're falling in love with, like, oh, look, he has crust in his eye when he wakes up. He twists his toes when he's nervous, like stuff like that. Notice that about you. That's how you fall in love with yourself. All your little quirks, all the little pieces of you, they help you better understand yourself in a different light that nobody else has seen. Only a lover can see you in your fullness, right? And you have to be your first lover, even if you want to attract that or create a life that you love. So, creating boundaries requires self-love and discipline. It's not about you shutting people out or being unkind. It is about you telling them that you care enough for yourself to create boundaries that are for your highest good. Clear communication is needed to keep your boundaries intact. For you, your work life is a reflection of the life that you've had with your family. They are not separate. They are running together is what I'm getting here. So you are completing a cycle, and this is the second time addiction has popped up in the card. I just didn't hold it up the first time. But in other lifetimes, you did not come back into your gifts and you just sort of drunk it and drugged it away. But this time you're going to tap back into your intuitive facilities. You are going to use that pain to strengthen those Scorpio gifts and that lunar Cancerian energy. You're going to let it burn so that you can be ignited. That's some painful shit. But the glow that comes from being on fire, baby, That's going to pull in everything you want, like a moth to the flame. But in your case, the moths shall be clients who can recognize your power when they hear you speak. Now, I just had one more deck. Got it. So, let's close this out. With what does Kelley need to do to step into her highest financial abundance? Work your magic, baby. Take that chakra test, but work your magic. Because sometimes your magic can be on yourself, like you need a white candle cleanse to cleanse out your chakra. But then other times, if your chakras are fine, you need a money candle to bring that energy in. Because you are meant to be full-time in your business, baby. Do not be intimidated to enter the world of business. You got this. Like, it literally says that on the card. It's like trying to coach you along too. Consider executive positions, becoming a CEO or anything in the corporate world. You are an influencer. That's the branch, but it's like boss. Elevate your awareness and think bigger if you want different results, because limitless. Yo, you got some haters. Just people always wondering what you're doing. That's probably why you're getting like the energy to pull back, because gossip was around you. That could be the reason that you're afraid to expand your business, because you don't want other people that you know to see what you're doing. They just cast so much doubt on you. Minimize drama and take personal responsibility to act with integrity. Your personal drama is getting in the way of your work. People are talking about you and what you're doing. All of that says to me, you're afraid to be seen by the people that you grew up with, because they don't understand what you're doing and they was hating on you the whole time anyway. So, didn't I say this was an activation, baby? Do you feel like him? I feel like him for you. Like, we got this, sis. You are being activated because you are going to teach other people the road that you took to get to where you're going once you get there. Because right now, we're starting right here with unfulfilled, unhappy, not thriving in your purpose. So, I look very much forward to the continued work that I believe we're going to be doing together as you step into your best magical healing self. 22:22 on the clock. Have a good day.